Examples of government regulation hurting the little guy. You've heard them all on Varney and Company in the past week. Kevin Lunny, government trying to regulate his oyster farm. Number 2, Lisa King from Brownie Points, government trying to tax her online sales, really hurting her. And number 3, the government's trying to, the government of North Carolina, banning the sale of Tesla cars in that state. This is the kind of theme that John Stossel comes up with, and he's got one of those tonight on his show, and he joins us right now. What were you saying during the break?
Well, we talk about these specific examples, and they're bad, and I'm getting sick of all the scandal coverage and the discussion. Who should be fired, says Boehner. Who should be jailed, rather, he says, and how are we going to fix this? We can't fix it when government is that big. If you have 1 million government employees, then thousands of even low-level ones, some of them will be tyrants who will wreck people's lives in tiny ways, drag things out, torture people who they don't like. Until we have limited government, we can't fix it.
John, I don't disagree with the limited government thing, but I think the argument here or the issue isn't some tiny, bureaucrat in a corner somewhere, but at what direction? In other words, what are the marching orders from on high, and are they carrying out those marching orders? And
we will have that investigation, and if somebody up top gave a marching order, they should be punished. But that's rarely the case. The real abuses of government, the examples you give, the little guy who can't defend himself, who can't start the business because the application process takes 3 years.
Okay, so what you want to do is to strip down government to its central core of what's the central core of government? What would you have?
Defense and pollution control, and then taxes are 2% a year, and the IRS doesn't need to decide who's tax exempt and who's not, because everybody pays.
But you've got to have some degree of regulation, surely, don't you?
Environmental regulation.
For a level playing field for everybody, right?
No, the market does that. Competition is the best regulator.
But you would allow drugs which may be dangerous to get on the market, would you?
Yes. Because they get on the market now when they're illegal. We can't even keep them out of prisons. How do we think we're keeping them out of America?
You can't win that argument because most Americans, the vast majority of Americans...
fight the argument even though you are too dense to get it.
No, I'm not too dense to get it. I get it. I just think you're unrealistic, that's all.
Well, so I've been told all my career, but we're getting closer as people see the constant abuses by government at every level.
Did they tell you that when you were at ABC? Did they say, John Stossel, you are totally unrealistic?
Yes.
Did they say,
John Stossel... You're predictable, libertarian, unrealistic dogma.
Did they then say, get out of here?
They said, we don't want to put that on anymore.
What do you got on your show tonight?
These examples, and some wonderful businesses that sneak around the regulations so that you can rent your room here in your apartment to a tourist. Make some money, they get to stay cheaper. Or get a cheaper taxi. People using their own cars to give people taxi rides.
Is that legal? Is that legal?
Until your beloved government crushes them.
No, I don't love the government.
That can't be legal in New York, that's for sure. That one medallion's going for $1 million apiece.
We'll see what happens. We have Uber in New York now.
Who?
These Uber cars, which are a competition to the cabs, where you just call one on your cell phone, and they're great.
But is that legal?
That so far is legal, and these even cheaper ones, Lyft, where people use their own cars.
How about Bitcoin?
I bought some.
You did? Mm-hmm. The government's just cracked down on you.
Today?
Didn't they? The government closed the largest Bitcoin exchange, I believe. Yes.
And the CFTC wants to regulate it.
Yeah, Commodity Futures Trading Commission wants to regulate it.
But that just proves your point. They see a legitimate threat, and they're going after this threat.
And it sees my point that whenever I buy something, government regulates.
Exactly. What time